Hello, friends. Happy Thursday. My name is Tammy Savello, and you are live with Cards by TLC, and welcome to my weekly card class to go. And if you are watching Thursday, February 29th at 11 a.m. Pacific time, you are watching live here in the chat. Whether you're joining me for the first time or returning, welcome. And if this is your first time joining, we're so happy to have you here, and let us know in the chat if you are a first time viewer. Well, this week we are playing with the absolutely adorable Simply Sparkling bundle, which is actually an online exclusive. You can't find this bundle in any of our catalogs, but you can find it in my online store under online exclusives. This is such a fun set because not only can you make your favorite soda, but you can also make these adorable little fruit additions to your drink, maybe like a sparkling water with the fruit flavored, or a sparkling juice, or whatever you may want to create with it. But let's go ahead and I'm going to show you the 3 projects that we are making today. We are making these adorable cards today, and you might notice one that looks pretty familiar, but we also are going to do this fun fold, and these 2 are kind of like a sparkling water type situation. And then of course, by looking at that, you certainly can recognize that. So let's go ahead and get started on what we are creating for our card class to go. But before we get started, if you are new to my channel, every Thursday I create my card class to go, which we make 3 projects together with a $50 purchase in my online store, and you'll receive 6 kits, 2 of each design. I made it that price so you can also get an additional free purchase gift during our celebration items. But since that is ending today, I've decided to decrease the price to $40. So when you purchase a $40 purchase in my online store, you'll get all of the supplies to make 6 cards, so 2 of each design. So I wanted to quickly go over that. And then lastly, if you would just like to purchase the kits themselves, all of the details and the form for that are in the description box below. So let's go ahead and get started on our first project. We are making this cute little strawberry flavored drink. Oh, welcome, Patty. Can't wait. I'm so glad that you're here. So let's go ahead and go over what is in our first kit. You are getting a top folding card base in Sweet Sorbet. Now I need to be sad for a moment because this is actually one of our retiring colors. Every 2 years we have in colors, and Sweet Sorbet is one of the colors that is retiring. So a little sad about that. So we're going to be creating a lot with the upcoming retiring in colors. So PSA is done with that. And then you are also going to be receiving 2 basic white pieces, one for the front panel and one for the inside. You'll be receiving 2 pieces of the Celebration Sunny Days designer paper. Love this. This is so cute. You will also be receiving a piece of silver foil, which has the self-adhesive sheets attached to the back, because when you die cut this bubble, you definitely need those. They need it to be kind of like in a sticker format. You are also going to be receiving a basic white additional piece that we'll be doing our stamping on. So let's go ahead and start with our stamping. Hello, Nell. Don't be sorry. So happy that you're here. So what I actually did was I took our can and I actually, if you noticed, I stamped it in gray just because I kind of wanted the silver look to it. So I stamped it in the smoky slate just to give it such not a harsh stamp image. So we are going to stamp our can, and then we are going to stamp 2 strawberries ahead of time. And actually, yeah, we'll wait on that. We will go ahead and stamp those in Memento black ink because we're going to be coloring those. So you're going to want to stamp 2 of those. And then you will want to color in our strawberry. And I used my Stampin' Blends markers. I used light sweet sorbet, and I also used the dark shaded spruce for the stem. So of course, with the magic of TV, which we've already done ahead of time. And then also what you're going to want to do is, let me show you what you're going to want to die cut, because you're going to be die cutting these throughout each project. But you're going to want to die cut these bubbles, and you're actually going to want to die cut 2 of those. And then you're going to want to die cut the top of the can. And this actually cuts out into 3 pieces. And let me show you. Obviously, with the magic of TV, we have done that ahead of time. And let me show you. There's our bubbles when they're die cut out. You have the top of the can. You have the bottom portion of our can. And then you also have the top part of the can. So when you cut this out, you get these 3 pieces. So you'll want to do that as well. But of course, with the magic of TV, we have already done that ahead of time for you. And let me get our pieces back in here. So we have our Coke can. We have our 2 strawberries. Let me get this out of the way. Okay. And we cut 2 of those. And the reason why I did that is because I did a full bubble here, and then I also did an additional bubble as well. And I think I cut that down, but we'll go ahead and go over that as we go along. So let's go ahead and stamp the sentiment on our front can and our little swirly on the front of our can. And this comes with a cute swirl. And what I did was I stamped it in the sweet sorbet, but I stamped off to give it a lighter version of that, because we are going to come back in here and stamp our strawberry again directly onto the can. And this time we will go ahead and color that on camera, obviously. Well, that was fun. We'll color it in. You won't even notice the difference. And then we're also going to come back in with our sweet sorbet and our Fizztastic. There we go. That is done. And let's come in with our markers. Quickly color this in. And then I missed our little stems, so we're just going to kind of make our own little stems. There you go. You can't really even tell, can you? And then what we're going to do next is this background right here. I actually did some blending, ink blending. So let's go ahead and bring one of our basic white panels, and I just did some ink blending. You don't have to do this. This step is optional, but I just wanted to add a little bit of color to our background, just so it's not so stark white. So this step is optional. Thank you, Patty. Yes, please hit the thumbs up so you get my video out more on the For You page. Thank you, Patty. I appreciate that. Okay, next we are going to come in with our piece of Sunny Days strawberry paper. And typically I start with the inside of my card, but I wanted to get all the stamping and all of that out of the way. So we're doing kind of a reversed way this time. Okay. There we go. And then we are going to come in with our can and start building our little can. Now, like I said, it's really, really easy to, you definitely want to do this with the self-adhesive sheets on the back because they peel right off like a sticker and it makes things a lot easier, especially with those bubbles. You definitely, the bubbles and then the top of the can. Okay. And sometimes they just don't want to come apart. Let's find another portion of this. Oh, come on, little guy. Of course, when we're on TV, it's going to be fussy. So I think what I'm going to do is just, rather than fight this, do it just a little bit of glue and put that on there. And we're going to pretend that peeled right off. There we go. And then this little portion at the bottom, and there is our little can. And then we're going to just kind of lay this down, and I think I'm going to go ahead and pop it up with my Stampin' sheet. A lot easier, or you can either glue it directly down, but I popped it up with the Stampin' sheet. You can use Stampin' Dimensionals, whichever you would like to use. Kind of like that. And then I did the bubbles like that. I may have done, oh, I did two full ones. I thought I cut it, but I guess I ended up doing 2 full. Oh, you are not going to be cooperative, are you? Oh, thank goodness. This is the one sticker I cannot glue down. I mean, I could, but we would be here all day. Foam adhesive sheets are the best, Patty. You got me addicted to them. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah. Pokey tool. Yeah, that would work too. There we go. Just kind of like that. And then let's glue our little strawberries down. Like so. I really had fun playing with this bundle. It's funny because I don't know about you, but I honestly forget about our online exclusives. They're kind of like the redheaded stepchildren, but no, they can't be because they have some really cute ones out there. And starting on March 1st, we have the most adorable online exclusives for that. So stay tuned for that, because next week we are going to be playing with more online exclusives, and you are going to love it. Get my adhesive. If you are a coffee lover, stay tuned, because so cute. Cannot wait. Oh, I made this little guy kind of crooked. Let's get you fixed. There we go. Not even paying attention when I'm gluing down. Okay. And let's glue our front panel down. And our first card is done. And there we have it. There is our first card. So cute, right? Okay, let us move on to project number 2. As you can see, we have created a very famous brand, but I decided to use Cola instead of the actual brand name because we don't want any copyright issues. But what I did was, let's go over the kit, what you're receiving in the kit. Let's grab this. And there are lots of pieces in this kit. So I'm actually, when you receive the kit, I'm actually going to have all of these pieces in a clear envelope for you, because I don't want this lettering to get lost. So let's go ahead over what we have in our kit. Let's get that out of the way. We have a standard card base in Real Red. We have a piece of basic white for the inside piece. We have 2 pieces of our Sunny Days designer paper, the cherry pattern. We have a Real Red rectangle, a basic white rectangle that's going to layer right on top of that, our strip of Real Red for our mat for our sentiment, our basic white strip for our sentiment, the letters that you will need, and I die cut those out ahead of time with my sticker, or with the adhesive sheet, and I'm going to pull these off as we're talking. I'm going to do what Patty said. For some reason, I'm just not being able to grip this. Should have done this ahead of time and pulled these off. Uh-oh. I'm sorry you hear my kitty. He must have had another nightmare. He likes to have nightmares during this time. And then you will also have your, there we go. We've got those off now. Your strip of silver foil. And then you will have your basic white piece that you're going to be stamping your image. So again, I stamped that in, basic, or in smoky slates. And then I did this ahead of time because I did not want to color on camera. But what I did was I took our Real Red marker and I just kind of did a swirl down the center, and then I colored around it. So let's go ahead and put together our pieces here. And then of course you're going to want to die cut your bubbles again and your top of your Coke can. So let's go ahead and put that down. And I thought the cherries were really cute, so you can have a cherry cola instead. So we're gonna put that down. And then we're gonna put the top of our can down. Our little topper there. And then we're gonna put our little okay, I know I just had you undone. Okay, and then I'm gonna bring in my tweezers to lay this down evenly. Now, if you're making this for a friend or anything like that, you can certainly spell out the brand name. I just did not want to do that on a live video. There we go. I love these alphabet dies. They're so cute. I think I pulled that already off. Okay, so let's go ahead and stamp our sentiments. You're so delightful. And we stamped that in Memento black ink. And the inside has birthday wishes. So let's go ahead and pull our basic white panel and stamp that as well. And then we will go ahead and piece together. Now, don't worry, your kit will have this designer paper in it. I have plenty to fill any kit orders. It was one of my favorite designer papers. Oops, and I got some ink on my fingers, so we're gonna wipe my hands really quick because I'm dealing with white. Okay. So let's bring in our card base. And let me grab one really quick because my top folding card base is over here. I grabbed the wrong piece. So here's our top folding card base. And then of course we got our piece of designer paper. I always like to use up our designer paper. It's great to use up those strips of extra paper that you might have lying around. Our scrap pieces. There we go. And then let's go ahead and work on our front piece here of our cherry paper. This paper is so cute. And you'll notice the back side. You'll recognize that on our last card. Multiple layers here. What I like about this layout is it really focuses on that designer paper in the background, but it breaks up the cherry part with a double layer panel. Okay. And then we're going to come in here with our cola can. Now you can certainly pop up your cola, but I just happened to lay it flat and I popped up our sentiment. Okay. And our bubbles. And then we're going to come in with our sentiment. I am so glad I am changing your mind. I forgot about this set and I was struggling as to what I wanted to create with this week. And Patty mentioned that she had this set. So this is actually on loan from Patty. Thank goodness she lives so close by because she is my stamping library. I'm very blessed to have that option. But I will be purchasing this bundle for sure. Especially with summer coming up, it would be a fun summertime card. And I have a lot of friends that love Coke, so they might be receiving these cards as well. So there is project number 2. Nice little fun birthday card. Okay, we are moving on to project number 3, our fun fold. It's kind of like a double, I guess it's like a double Z, but I absolutely love this. There are lots of parts and pieces to this kit, so let's go ahead and go over that. This one's going to take just a little bit longer to come together, but it comes together nicely. Now, if you are mailing this out, you certainly are probably going to have to use the additional postage, or I would highly recommend doing this layout to give someone if you didn't want to pay that extra postage. But this definitely will be requiring extra postage. You are absolutely right, Patty, and I plan on recreating this layout using the Love It Chop It designer paper. If you're not familiar with Love It Chop It, my friend and fellow demonstrator Kylie Bertucci out of Australia, she came up with Love It Chop It, and the meaning behind that is cut your designer paper. Many of us get our designer paper, and if you're like me, we like to collect designer paper and not use our designer paper. But I will be doing an upcoming blog post on the story behind Love It Chop It and what it entails. So keep an eye out on my blog post at cardsbytlc.com. Probably in the next week or so I'll be doing that, but definitely going to be doing that. Okay, so in your card kit, you'll be receiving 2 card bases that were already pre-scored in Lemon Lolly. And if you could see the score marks here, we'll be closing that up and doing that momentarily. You will also be receiving, oh, come on, Tammy. That designer paper, which is the opposite side of the cherries, and you'll be die cutting our can out directly. You'll be receiving a piece of Granny Apple Green that has the self-adhesive sheet on the back for our stems. And then you'll be receiving a piece of Lemon Lolly that will have the self-adhesive sheet on the back that you're going to be doing the bubbles, as well as die cutting those lemons. Let me quickly show you on here really quick. This lemon piece right here, this is what you'll be die cutting in the lemon lolly, and then you'll be die cutting this die cut in the granny apple green. You will be also receiving a basic white panel piece for the inside, and then you will be receiving 5 pieces of the lighter than air designer paper. And you'll have 1 for the decorative strip on the inside. You'll have 4 designer pieces, DSP pieces, strips for our panel pieces right here. You will also be receiving 4 basic white strips, which go for our mats. You'll be receiving 2 basic white squares, and finally your strip for the top part for the can piece. So let's go ahead, and I think what we're going to do is we are going to do our stamping first, and then that way we can get it done and out of the way. So we are going to pull out our 2 of our basic white pieces, and we're going to put the rest off to the side for right now. Okay, so what we are going to do first and foremost is I'm going to take Fizztastic and Birthday Wishes and bring in my Memento black ink and stamp that first and foremost. Birthday Wishes and Fizztastic. Okay. Fizztastic. Birthday Wishes. Okay, we're gonna have the opposite side. We're having fun with that black ink today. I'm just a little off game here, but we keep it real, right? There we go. And then You're So Delightful. And then I'm going to kind of angle this because this is going to kind of come in at an angle just like so. And since we have our Memento black ink, we are going to bring in our can that we have die cut ahead of time. So you will want to take that designer paper and cut just the outline image of the can itself. And that one I have extra bubbly. And I just did it right here, kind of towards the top middle. Okay, all of our stamping is done. Oh, we forgot our other stamping. Our stamping is not done, but our black stamping is done. I'm going to come in with our lemon lolly, and then we have the little fizzy guys that I'm going to be stamping on that back panel piece. Okay, just making sure. Okay. I had to tap my screen over there. It kind of froze up. Did it freeze on your end? Hopefully not. This is a bright, vibrant color. And then we have our little lemon piece right here and our lemon wedge that we are going to come in with this piece. And I stamped that in lemon lolly, and then this wedge piece in lemon lolly. This would be fun to do a citrus, whether you're doing lemons, limes, oranges. And then I came in, let's go ahead and close this up. I came in with my lemon lolly my dark lemon lolly blend and my dark parakeet party for our leaves. And then we are just gonna add some color there and then come in and just color our lemon. There you go. Okay, all of our stamping is officially done, so now we can start piecing pieces together. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and bring in our decorative strip and our back panel piece. Let's bring this down a little bit, get this in frame. There we go. Okay, let's bring in our card base, our main card base, and we are going to take it and we're going to start from the top and we're going to fold peaks and valleys, as I like to say this, or flip-flop our piece. Did I fold that wrong? No, I got it. There we go. I was like, wait a second, why is it not folding? I had it upside down. So let me see if I have my foam folder, which I do not. It's buried somewhere over on my crafting table. So we're just gonna really press down on that. Now we're gonna take our back panel piece and insert that. And then next we are going to, I don't think I cut that back panel piece correctly. We're gonna just make it work. We are going to go with it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and bring in our 4 pieces of designer paper and our 4 panel pieces. This card is actually the longest one because there's a lot of gluing involved. I'm going to try to go as quickly as I possibly can for the gluing. There we go. Like I said, this is a really fun layout. It really showcases various designer papers. You can certainly use any designer paper, any stamp set. The layout is really versatile and comes together really nicely. And where is my 4th panel? Okay, bear with me guys. I may have buried my 4th panel. Okay, well, I'm going to kind of fly by my seat of my pants and not do this last panel. Your kit will have that 4th panel piece. I apologize for not having it on the video, but I don't want to have to cut another strip of basic white paper. My trimmer is in the other room. So we're going to pretend this has a nice little white border around it. And then we're going to come in with our other panels and just glue them directly on here. And you don't have to, oh, there it is. Of course, it's underneath my piece of paper. Well, that was fun. Okay. Anyhow, we're going to pretend that last panel had that basic white panel piece on it. You can certainly eliminate this panel piece and just add the designer paper on directly on your panel pieces. You don't have to have this white panel piece. Okay, and now we're going to come in here with this piece right here. And this is where we're going to add adhesive on the inside portion of this card. And you can use tear and tape or Stampin' Seal or Stampin' Seal Plus. I would maybe not use liquid glue just because it's it'll hold it better, in my opinion. You certainly can if that's all you have, but because you're opening and closing it so much, that way it holds better. Okay, and then we're going to come in here and glue down our basic white panel piece here. I probably should have glued that ahead of time before I adhered that panel piece, but we're going to make it work. This is where liquid glue comes into play, and you can just kind of move it around nicely. And then our front panel piece, before we glue that down, I'm going to come in, which we have done ahead of time, all of our bits and pieces and bobs. And so I'm going to, let's put together our little can here first and foremost. Now what I did was I actually took this die cut piece right here that normally I pop out, and I just happened to do it in a lemon lolly piece. You don't have to do that. I'm not going to do it on the project here, but you certainly can have that extra little piece. And what I might do on this one, I might actually have this one closed. So you can have the option of having it closed or open. Okay, there we go. No, that's going to be, I need that extra piece to keep it closed. So you can certainly leave that open just like so. It looks a little strange with the designer paper, so I highly recommend having that yellow piece on the inside. But we're just going to go with the flow. Hang on just a second, guys. I cannot see comments. I just want to make sure that I have all the comments. Okay. Okay, then we're gonna come in with our little bubbles. And then what I did here was I just added the bubbles directly onto that square. And we are going to add our lemon pieces. Our lemons directly onto our can to where it's kind of like the sparkling water. There we go. Okay, come on, stickers. You are just not playing nice today. Okay, like so. There we go. And I just did like a little tuck here. And then I added, of course, another strip of foam adhesive. Onto our can. And then we glue this panel down. And there is project number 2. Okay, let's go ahead and bring in all 3 projects that we created today. And I would love to know, as always, what your favorite is, 1, 2, or 3. Kind of like the yellow because I don't know if it's the fold or the brightness, but I would love to know which project which you like. But I want to thank you all. You love them all. You picked number 2 and number 3. Okay. That's awesome. Well, I want to thank you all for joining me today. And I want to take a special moment right now. In the crafting community, one of the top selling companies close to my heart is closing their doors on June 30th. And my heart, my prayers, and all of my love go out to them and the crafting community. They're part of our crafting world. And it's a huge loss for the makers and as they call themselves, makers for demonstrators. But my heart goes out to them. And I thank you all for joining me today. I hope you all hit that like button on my video. That helps my channel grow. And if you have not yet subscribed, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and notification bell to all so you don't miss any of my future videos. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend, and I will see you all next week with more online exclusives. Bye, everyone.